Hello, everybody, and welcome to our second day of this wonderful 4-week period. So, here we're going to be taking a look at Chapter 3, which is talking about negative numbers. And yesterday we had our investigation about order of operations. And now today we're going to be looking at adding positive and negative numbers. Hopefully, you have this packet. You can pick it up at the office if you've not already done so. Otherwise, you can also go over here to Canvas, and you'll find here located under Tuesday, January 12th negativeIntegers.pdf, and that is the packet we're going to be working from today. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let me zoom in here for you. So our learning target for today is adding integers using a number line and the standard algorithm. So here, when I'm talking about a number line, I like to think about it in terms of a tightrope walker. So this number line that we see here is actually a tightrope. So here we are, we have our tightrope walker. His name is Stanley. Look at those cool little eyes. His handlebar mustache. Nice little comb over. And hey, why not give him a little big old smiley face? He is excited. And so am I. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now that we have our friend Stanley, we can put him right here on the tightrope and we can make him walk back and forth. Now, when I'm looking at my positive numbers here, for example, 13, positive 13, I'm telling Stanley to do what? Take 13 steps in which direction? Forward, right? Because it's positive 13. And then I have my negative 4 here. If I'm telling Stanley to take negative steps, which direction is he going to be moving? Backwards. So if we were to break this down, we're going to start off by looking at the negative 4. We're telling Stanley to take 4 steps back. So when we're starting on our number line or our tightrope, where would it make sense to start? Right here at 0, right? That's where we're going to start before we do anything else. We have negative 4. And so we're going to tell Stanley to take 1, 2, 3, 4 steps backwards. That's our negative 4. And here we are at negative 4. And then when we're adding, we can think about which way would we typically move on a number line if we're adding. So if I did 2 plus 4, 5 plus 6, which way are we adding when we're doing our addition? Moving to the right, making it more positive. In this case, we're telling them to move 13 steps forward. So let's go ahead and count them out from negative 4. 13 steps forward. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're back to 0, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So if we take 13 steps forward from negative 4, we're going to end right here at positive 9. So we took 4 steps back, and now we're taking 13 steps forward, and we have our final answer or our final ending spot of positive 9. So negative 4 plus positive 13 is going to give us 9. Let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. So again, I am going to put my negative number in red. I'm going to put my positive number in green. So I have positive 7 plus negative 13. So again, we're going to start at our starting spot here at 0. Here we can draw Stanley there with his nice little stash and his comb over. Looks all nice. And now we're going to tell him to move 7 steps forward. Positive 7. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now he's at positive 7. That's our first move. Now let's go ahead and scroll down here. Now we're adding. And so when we're adding, again, we typically face this direction. But we notice that we're adding a negative number. And so when we told Stanley to move 13 steps forward in the positive direction, that was just positive 13. But now we're working with negative 13. So we're telling him to do the opposite. So the opposite of moving 13 steps forward would be moving 13 steps backwards. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 steps backwards. Puts us, boom, right here at -6. So this would be our endpoint for Stanley. Let's go ahead and do that in purple. All right, so 7 plus -13 puts us at -6. We have one more example here. This time, we're going to go 6 steps forward, putting us at +6. And now we're going to take 6 steps backwards because we're adding a negative number. So if we go back 6, it's actually going to put us right back here at 0. So 6 plus -6 will put us right back at 0. They cancel each other out. All right, so now you're going to go ahead and try these next two problems on your own. So first we have 6 plus -8, and then we have -3 plus 10. So go ahead and use the number line, write your answer in, and then we'll move on. All right, so did Stanley the tightrope walker end at the same location? Did you guys also get -2 here for 6 plus -8? What about that second problem, -3 plus 10? Where would Stanley end up on a tightrope if we told him to take 3 steps backwards and then 10 steps forward? All right, so now it's going to be your guys' time to put this to the test. Here we have workshop number 1. You're going to use the number lines that we see below to complete these problems. And then as you scroll down further, you'll see question number 11. It says, do you notice a pattern that will allow you to find the sum of integers without using a number line? What do you think it is? So if we take a look at what this question is asking, we can refer to problems 9 and 10. So here we see problem 9. We're working with two negative numbers. We have -20 and -15. So what do we get for an answer when we add two negative numbers? And then the same goes for question 10. But here we see one negative number and one positive number. What does that do to our answer here? So in other words, question 11 is asking, when we're adding two negative numbers, what do we know for sure about our final answer? Is it positive or negative? And then when we're adding a negative and a positive number, what could help us figure out what that answer is without having to use a number line? So it's going to take a little bit of thinking, but we're going to go back to this question and we're going to see if you actually can figure out the trick here for solving. All right, go ahead and give it a shot. All right, now after you finish that up, you'll come down here to problem 12, where you're going to be calculating the sums for the following problems without using a number line. So hopefully you found out that trick because it's going to help you out big time. And then we're going to see some real world problems here. And so we understand the skill now, we've worked on it a little bit, and now we're going to see how this relates to our real lives. So in this first problem, for example, we see Tom owes Jenny $25. So think about if you owe somebody money. Is that going to put you in the negative or is that going to put you in the positive? It's going to put us here in the negative, in this case at negative 25. So that's our first move. And now Tom pays back part of the loan, giving her $10. So if I'm currently in the negative 25 spot, but I've paid back $10, is that going to put me more negative? Or is that going to put me closer to zero? In other words, do I owe Jenny less money? So now I'm adding my positive 10. So that's going to put me closer to zero. I owe less money now. So here we see that we end up at negative 15. And then there's some more real world problems below. In this case, we see a football game where a team gains 10 yards and then they lose 15 yards. So where is that going to put you? Think about what that equation would look like if you were to write it out. All right, and then once you get down here to mini lesson 2, you're going to pause and you're going to make sure that you completed everything up above. And again, try to locate that trick for adding positive and negative integers. All right, nice job. Keep it up.